Hello, everyone. This is Toyin Umesiri. It's been a while. I've been super busy. If you followed me for a while now, you know we hosted the Trade with Africa Business Summit, which has kept me super busy for the last couple of weeks. And now that that is over, I'm like, okay, I think I need to come back and start my series again. So, welcome everyone. Did you miss me? I missed you all. I see Rajiv already saying hi, hello, and please drop a note. I know it's been a while since I went live, but I hopefully you've not disappeared, right? Awesome, Rajiv from Calcutta, India. Yes, you did engage with the business summit. Oh, in 2000. Interesting. Yeah, every year, once a year, I get to do this once a year. And this year was amazing. We had government, business executives, from agriculture to technology. It was 5 days. I was like, Tori, why did you do that to yourself? 5 days of amazing content. And by the way, if you missed it, you did miss a lot. But the content, the video is now available on our platform. So Nazaru.trade. If you remember, you can access it or you can just purchase the recording. I think it's about 12 hours of recording. From African Union updates to AFCFTA to agriculture to retail. Wow. It was great. It was great. Awesome. Um, Marion, Michael, thank you from Philadelphia. Awesome. You said this is your first meeting. Well, welcome. Those who follow me, they know every week I used to do this. But then once I got into the groove of hosting my annual summit, I was like, no, that's really the key thing we had to do. Awesome. So, a couple of announcements. Let me just get those announcements out of the way before we get into today's topic, right? So, key announcement. I also just launched a new series called Ask Toyin. Okay. So a lot of times people have so much questions, they filter it to us. I also have newsletters that goes to over 20,000 people every single week. So I'm trying to create some type of engagement, more like back channel communication. That way it's not a one-way street, right? Meaning I'm not just the one pushing information out there, but I also want to hear from people following and subscribers. So there's a new Ask Towing form. Let me get that out to you. If you go over to my website, my personal website, towingumesiri.com/ask towing, you can actually submit your questions there. Now, this is what's going to be fun. Those questions will show up on this weekly show, meaning your name, your question, I'll bring it up, I'll prepare my answer to those questions, and then I'll say, hey, let's say as example, Michael from Philadelphia sent in a question called ABCD. I'll read it out and then I'll give you my answer. Okay, so that's the plan for Ask Towing, more interactive. So you get to think through your questions. Go head over to my website, toyinmesiri.com/ask towing. There's a form, your name, where you're joining from, and the question. You drop it there. And then during the live show, I'll call you out. We'll read your questions or I'll type it out. People can read it and then I'll respond. Maybe I'll pick 4 or 5 questions per week. And I think answering those questions, there might be so many more people with the same type of questions in terms of business, export, international, or even just life, because hey, I also run a ministry for women. So I realize on Clubhouse, people ask different types of questions. So Ask Toyin is now live. If you have specific questions, business questions that's on your mind, yeah, head over to toyinmesri.com, ask Toyin, and then I'll prepare my response and share it during the live engagement. So yes, I see more people joining. Maraka Mwanja joining. Where are you joining from? Amit Kumar, hello. Also, who else? Rajiv doing business in Africa. Are you already doing business in Africa? Because yay, I want to know. We have some definitely ways we can support you to help you achieve your goal. So let's get to today's conversation. Okay. If you already know how we roll, As I'm speaking, you let me share what I have on my mind for the day, and then I get to questions. You drop it in the chat as well. So today, want to talk about five ways you can participate in trade with Africa. A lot of times people reach out to me. I'm playing around with my Instagram stuff. Anyway, I've been everywhere these days. So people usually say, Toyin, we've heard you, trade with Africa. But what does it mean to me? Like, how do I personalize it? Are you just entertaining us? Do you just want us to say, good job, Toyin? We're seeing you. You know, no, this is about you, right? This is about you. Nazaru, my company, is about you. It's about providing services, network, resources, support to help people achieve their goal. Because what we're finding is that international trade is not easy. It's not the easiest thing, but we want to make it easier, right? For example, I just got off a client call, connecting them with government resources and all of those things. What I'm also realizing is that people don't really understand what we do behind the scenes. Like, I try to keep things private in a way, but in the world of COVID and all of those things, we all had to come online and talk more and share more and maybe overshare. Overshare is in right now. We have to overshare and over communicate, and that's what I'm leaning towards. Like, overshare, over communicate. I'll say this over and over and over and over again. So one of the things I always say over and over and over again is, you always consider three markets, right? Those who have attended my classes, my master classes, my workshops, they already know this deal: your local market, your regional market, your international market. Wherever you are, I'm here in the US, my local market is US. How I buy, how I sell, all of those things, right? In the local market. The moment you want to go regional, for example, here in the US, you think about Canada, Mexico, that's the region, North American region, right? There are rules of the game, things shift, policies that gets, you get to leverage to help you drive your exports. And then there's the international beyond your region. So if you're in India, right? Your region. India is big enough to be considered a region by itself, even though it's a country. But then you think about international, getting your product out beyond your region, right? If you're in Africa, you think about Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Morocco. There's a way you buy and sell in your local market, in your country, right? And then your region. So I want to say, this is the time. If you know anybody interested in this type of topic, this is the time you need to ping them in, forward this to them, invite them to be a part of this. And I see Anthony saying, Toyin, good job. Thank you so much. I also recognize that some people are just now joining this train, like in the last few months or even few weeks. Those that have been on this train for years now, they're not new to all of these things I'm saying. But I recognize, like me being on Clubhouse lately, I've been testing Clubhouse for the past couple of weeks, playing around, connecting with new people. I also recognize that new people are saying, "Oh, Toy, we never knew you were here. We never knew about Nazaru. We've not heard about Trade with Africa." I was like, "For real? You guys, spread the word, spread the good news, okay? We're here for you, definitely providing support, services, guidance, and all of those things for those who want to participate in accelerating trade with Africa. That's what we're about. So, what does it mean? How can you engage? What I want to break down today, even within the context of understanding your local, regional, and global market, is five ways you can be a part of trade with Africa. So there are about five or six. Let me just, what I've seen in the community that I lead. People fit into three, or maybe three or two or more of these roles. You're either an exporter. Now, when I say export, I'm going to use it broadly. Okay, let me explain how I use it broadly. You're a non-African trying to export into the African market, or you're an African trying to get your product out of the continent. I'll call you an exporter. Again, the export role could be played by, say, an American, a Canadian, right? Or someone in the UK or in India or China trying to penetrate the African market with their products or services. They're an exporter. But also, people forget that there are exporters sitting on the continent of Africa also looking to export beyond Africa or intra African, meaning from country to country, You want to export from Ghana to Nigeria, Nigeria to Ghana, Morocco, all of that. You're an exporter. You have a product or a service you want to take to new markets. So that's one way you can participate in trade with Africa. Another way to participate is as an importer. Okay, an importer looks like this. You could be in America importing, say, shea butter from Africa. You could be in Canada importing textile from Africa. You could be in India importing cashew or diamonds from Africa. You could be in China importing moringa or different commodity or raw items from Africa. You are an importer looking to source from the continent. Again, I'm going to reverse it. An importer role also exists on the continent. There are many importers and distributors on the continent looking to buy from the rest of the world, maybe agricultural equipment, right? Seeds, right? Services, expertise, consulting service, professional services, whether in banking, finance, all of that. They're looking to buy. So there are buyers on the continent looking for service providers, right? Okay. I talked about exporter. Remember, in Africa, there are exporters. Non-Africans also want to go into the market bilateral. There's also importer. You could be an importer in the US, Canada, looking to source from the continent. You could also be an importer on the continent of Africa, looking to buy and distribute certain products. Now, how you structure those things, the practical side of it is what we help with, right? Because as an importer, there are different contractual obligations. How do you know which one to go to? How do you know who to link with, right? Where literally the livelihood of people is distributorship. What they do is they own the informal market on the continent, and what they do is they're looking for new products to push to their chain, right? That's something that is very, 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 very sophisticated, mature on the continent. So I've mentioned two. So I'm going to give you five. One is the role of an exporter, the role of an importer. Now, the third one is what I'll call service providers. To move product from point A to point B, from India to Egypt, from China to Nigeria. Guess what? It's what I call the supply chain actors. There are actors along that value chain, right? There's the shipping company, the freight forwarders, the service providers, or the agents, all of those things along that value chain that guess what? The importer and the exporter need you and they're looking for you. But because you don't show up, they can't find you. If you're in the business of providing service that supports import and export, you need to really watch what I'm talking about. You need to be a part of our ecosystem. Because if you're not in proximity, if your potential clients are importers and exporters, and you're providing service that connects them to the market, if you're not in proximity of, of them, they don't know you exist. They're going to only go with the people they know. So a lot of times people don't know that they're service providers, whether you can help them brand, you can help them market, you can help them ship, you can help them, you have a warehouse, you have services, e-commerce technology, all of those things, payment distribution, all of those things. You're all service providers helping to connect market linkages. If you're not in proximity of what it is I'm telling you, when I say trade with Africa, if you're not attending my events, if you're not in my network, if you're not on my platform, you're missing. Because these exporters and these importers, in order to connect their products to the market, they need service providers to move their products. They need freight forwarders, they need agents, they need, they need all of those things. And if that's your bread and butter, you really do need to key into what it is we're doing. So I've mentioned three. One, exporter. Two, importer. Three, service providers. Now, number four, I call them the facilitators. In fact, I have a special training for those people. I call them trade and investment facilitators. They're not the exporter, they are not the importer, they are not the service provider. All they're doing is facilitating transaction, right? And those groups of people, I break them into two actors: government actors that are facilitating trade and investment for their region, and private sectors actors that are holding the hands of private sector stakeholder. In a way, I play that role where We are facilitators, but I play beyond that role because of the platforms, right? But I'm saying that's one of the role we play in terms of holding the hands of exporters, would be exporters, importers, guiding them with market intelligence, market research, connection, resources, connecting them to the resources they cannot get by themselves. They have the product, they have the service, but they don't know how to go out there and connect the market, and they don't know the nuances, right, of building a business development, export development. And I do coaching and training for those actors as well. That trade facilitation skill set, it is a skill set. People want to play that role, but they don't have the skill set. That's why we actually have the masterclass, a 3 hour masterclass. I've trained government, I've trained businesses on this trade facilitation, right? Because governments have a role to play in terms of enabling, activating policies like the afcfta, like agoa, right? They reach out to, and this is the these are the private things I do that I don't talk about, but people don't know we do it because I don't talk about it. We actually engage with government, African government, US government, to help them connect with the people they want to serve or the people they want to attract as well. I won't say too much about it. But if you're a government stakeholder and you're a trade and investment facilitator, reach out to me. Yeah. We also work with private sectors who are facilitators, meaning they try to structure deals. They want to, bring deals together. You bring the investor, you bring, maybe it's an equipment that needs to be exported. You are the one pulling the strings and all of that. How do you do that really well? We have a training for that. Reach out. So again, exporter, importer, right? Service provider, trade and investment facilitator. And then the fourth one, I put a lot of people in this bucket. I call them the research people. They are the journalists covering trade because, again, we work closely with them. They're covering, right? They're the research people, like the intelligence, market intelligence people, that they are not facilitating trade. They are not exporters, they're not importers, they're not service providers, but part of their work is to basically feature and this, they're economists as well. They play different kinds of roles in providing market intelligence to the people they serve, right? There are also students that reach out to me. Hey, Tony, I'm writing a paper on afcfta. We don't have data. Do you have data? We have probably mature content on afcfta, African Continental Free Trade Agreement. I also do some training on that, training on agoa, African Growth and Opportunity Act as well. So for me, our role as Nazaru is to demystify all of these things. So when you hear trade, investment, is to help you figure out where you can play and where you can build your business or service from. Basically, that's what we do. We support those at the front line of advancing trade with Africa. Like, we've had to narrow down to say it's not a matter of competition, it's a matter of collaboration. Not just that, but actually enabling you with the network. The reason I do the events I do, the people who attended the event, you need to go and talk to them. Now they've expanded their network, they're meeting new people, they're doing business, they're doing deals. So there's a strategic play. People think, oh, Tony, event is not my thing, but event is a strategic play of bringing the stakeholders within proximity of one another. Because if you're not in proximity of those who can work with you, can become your potential clients or investors, then you're not in the game, you're not in the marketplace as well. So that's what drives a lot of the things that we do. So that's it. 5 things, right? Exporter, importer, service provider. Okay. Remember, service provider is if your job is tied to accelerating, connecting products and services between markets, you need to pay attention to everything I say going forward. If you've not, you need to go and research. You need to become a member of our network. You need to start connecting. We've provided platforms that help you connect with resources, information, knowledge, all of those things. Okay, so exporter, importer, service providers, trade and investment facilitator, what I call research journalists, all of those students, graduate students, professors, that they just want to know what's going on and they want to write or teach or coach or guide people around it, right? They are the people that, when deals are being signed, they're not the ones holding the pen, but they are in the room watching, observing, right? And then outside of those 5, my number 6, they are the spectators. And I think more people fall into that spectator. They just want to read what Tony has to offer. They're not doing, nothing is moving. They're not moving. They're not moving in this direction. And that's fine. Don't worry. You have so much to watch over the next couple of years because we are just at the beginning, right? It's just so fascinating. I just got off a meeting with, connecting my client to US government resources and all. Like, it's so much fun. People say, "Oh, Tony, I see you on LinkedIn. You seem upbeat." I'm like, if you're in the conversations I'm in, if you're part of building what I'm building and facilitate, like, there's never a dull moment. Like, there's never a dull moment. And I invite you all, become a member of my network, and you'll be at the leading front of all of these things. Okay. So that's it for today. I'm seeing a comment here from Jean Bosco. It's a shalom from Sweden. You wish to do business. Um, Okay, so basically, here's the thing, John. You need to connect if you're looking for new clients. So, if you're, for example, if you're a market entry expert for a country in Africa, here's the gap. Let's say you're a trade facilitator and you want to help people penetrate your country. So, I'm assuming you're in Africa. You're like, oh, I know Congo. I know this Somalia. This country is my country. I can help you connect. Guess what? If you don't join our platform and if you don't go through our training that helps you send your message and build a brand, we know what people are looking for. Just posting something on social media does not build trust. People only do business with people they know, like, and trust. You need to start building solid relationships, getting in front of the right people through our platforms. That's the way you're going to build your business. And we're doing it for our members. So, again, a lot of times people say, "Oh, I want this, I want that." Well, guess what? You've got to put in the work. You've got to build your brand. You've got to build your reputation. You've got to build a solid um, um, digital footprint that builds trust enough that people that are not in your country are willing to work with you. So, just so somebody posts something on social media doesn't mean I'm going to pay it any attention. That's what I'm trying to tell people. It doesn't work that way. If people are in your country, then there's a level of comfort they have because they can track you down. They can track you down. They know where your office is, all of that. But if you want to participate in international trade, remember I said your local business, your regional, international, the local market, regional market, international. I always tell people in my classes, remember, master that. If you're winning in your local and you're trying to attract new clients in the international market, there's a way you have to do it. Do you have a website? Do you have testimonials? Do you have a reputation? Because nobody ain't dealing with you if they cannot build trust, if they cannot verify who you are, if they cannot verify your identity. So posting this, posting that, it doesn't work. That's why we built our landscape, our platform, right? The trade, business trade and investment platform. We used to call it Trade with Africa Network before, but it's so broad now. Nazaru.trade. The reason we built it is so that people can start feeling a level of comfort and engaging and sharing. And then I coach them. I coach them how to pitch, how to position, and I tell them to use certain phrases like there's also some I won't put names out there. I basically said on your profile, use this phrase. This is the phrase people are looking for. And in less than 2 weeks after my event, he's already gotten he's already gotten a client. He attended my event, he paid, he was at my event, he connected with people, he networked, then he went to my platform, he introduced himself, he used the words and phrases I told him to use on his profile, and then he's telling me he already got a client. I was like, good for you. You listened, you're coachable. But people think it's magical. No, trust. You have to build trust. For you to go from a local market and for people to start trusting that they can trust you to help them build their strategy, you have to be a part of a network that is building trust. And that's it, guys. You there's no shortcuts to this thing. It's like nobody is going to work with you if they don't have a level of trust. You would not work with anybody. Somebody calling you in India and say, "Oh, I want to buy, I want to sell." You will start doing, your radar will be like, how can I verify this person? Who can I call to verify this? And those are some of the things that even US government, they do for the clients that we bring to them. is there a lot of verification through the embassies that has to happen to say, is this person the person they claim to be? Like, look them up, like check them out, verify, and that's international. Like, that's it, guys. Like, the moment you start moving from your local business and you want to do regional or international, you have to be more comfortable. There has to be transparency, more transparency, and trust has to be baked into that transaction. Because where there's no trust, nothing is happening. Um, Interesting. African Handmade also said you're from Ghana, you need partnership. Funny thing is that coming out of the Trade with Africa Summit 2021, I had an exit survey, and the number one thing people told me that they were looking for is partnerships. That's true me. That was a surprise to me because usually it's like, I need a buyer, I needed this, I needed that. But number one thing was partnership. And I've written an article about how to structure partnership as well. Again, when you say you need partnership, personally, I tell you, don't lead with that because nobody's partnering with somebody they don't know. The first thing you need to focus on is I need to start building relationship, business relationships. I need people to start networking with me. I need to start networking with people. And once they know me and feel comfortable, then you can say, hey, I like what you're doing. This is what I'm doing. Could there be synergy where we work together? Right? But until you've built those relationships, you have no right asking for partnership. Like I call it out. Like if you're in my class, if you're in my network, you know I'm super direct. Like I don't beat around the bush. I'm just like I say it as it is because time we can't be going round and round the circle and playing around. No. If I'm dealing with government and there's diplomacy, yes, I can do that. But when we're talking about business, I can tell you and point out the things that are derailers are stopping you from winning. Don't lead with I need partnership because people don't partner with people they don't know. They don't partner with people they don't know. They don't partner if they don't understand what's your service. Why should I partner with who are you? Right? Like, what are you going to do for me? Why should I even pay attention? And for example, Nazaru, there's a certain type of um, stakeholders that we only partner with. They only like associations for our events, multilateral entities, government. If you don't fit into that, we don't need like what are you bringing to us? Because that's why you need to go and read my article. Like partnership has to do win-win. So if what are you bringing into the partnership? Like what do we need from you? What are you trying to take from us? If that cannot be spelled out, so sorry, yeah, what you need is our service. Pay us for our service. You know, if you listen to my clubhouse, that was one of the things I told people. Like sometimes people would say partnership when they should be paying you for your service. Like if you're not going to offer people anything, stop asking for partnerships because partnership is win. We just pay me for my service. I'll give you what you need and go and bless you. But a lot of times people say, hey, we want to partner. I'm like, no, you're not bringing anything to me. Like, what are you doing for us? So anyway, people don't like that, but that's it. That's it, folks. Anything else? Um, Global Linker. Anyway, so go over to Ask Towing. So if you have specific question, please make it concise, make it specific, make it direct, introduce yourself. That would really shorten the back and forth because there's no time. Who's got time for back and forth, right? Specific, direct. That's the way to go. Something that is clear. There's always, when it comes to international trade, clarity is key. Like nothing needs to be hidden. Everything needs to be spoken out. Like over communicate. Make sure there's clarity in the engagement. There are no assumptions. Like make no assumptions. I make no assumption. I'm like, what do you need? Be very, very clear. That's my own mantra. So those are some of the cultural shifts we also have to help people make, particularly culturally on the continent where people beat about around the bush. People are not direct. I'm like, I'm not playing that game. Be specific, be direct. So again, Ask Toyin is where you can submit your questions. Okay. ToyinUmesiri.com, Ask Toyin. There's also a new workshop. I actually changed the date because, boy, coming out of the event, I needed to restructure some things. There's a workshop on export development and business growth, whether in goods or service, how to participate in international trade. This is knowledge you can also pass on to your clients. It's going to help you So toyinmessage.com/workshop. Go and look at the details there. What else do I need to share? That's it for today. I want to keep this short and sweet. Ask Toyin again is where you submit your questions. And the next time I come live, I would address those questions that are submitted. Does that sound like a plan? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much again. It's been super busy. Um, 2021 Trade with Africa Summit was amazing. A big thank you to everyone, our speakers, our guests, the African Union, Walmart CEO. Wow, Miss Vera, our clients, we showcase our clients, we showcase exporting to Africa, importing from Africa, World Business Chicago, Prosper Africa. We had an investor Q&A. 5 days of amazing stuff. And the people who came and showed up, guess what? They're already testimonials of business engagement, business connection, potential partnership. Because that's where, before you say partner, you have to first engage. And when you meet people on our platform, there's already trust baked in, because of the platform, because in a way, Tony is semi vouching for these individuals, kind of like before I put people as a speaker, I've done a level, a level of check. So when you engage with any of the people in our platform, in our platform, there's that semi trust already baked in, and that's the value that people get right from being a member of our network and platform, because we're guiding them, we're coaching them towards success. So that's what we do. We support those people who want to be at the front line of advancing trade with Africa. So remember what I just discussed today: 5 ways you also can engage in trade with Africa as an exporter, as an importer, as a service provider, as a trade investment facilitator, or a researcher, journalist, educator, right? And as a spectator. So that's it. Such an honor, absolute honor. So. See you again next week. I want to start my Tuesdays live with Toyin back up, but again, introducing the Ask Toyin as a new dimension. So if you have questions, I know things are coming up. You're having questions. If you're watching this later, head over really to Ask Toyin, toyinumesiri.com. Ask Toyin and submit your questions, and definitely I'll be happy to help. And if you want to sign up for my courses or masterclasses or services, please, you find that information on my website as well. That's it again. Take care now. God bless. Bye.